Okay, so you're live.
No.
I got like 6:30.
Last minute of your life.
What were you last meeting, last meeting, 25 minutes? It's gonna be that this time.
Not this time.
No.
Just not in circumstance.
You guys okay with them taking some?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to call the Police and Fire Commission to order Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025, 6:30 PM, 108 North Cape Run Street, Florida Council Chambers, Berlin, Wisconsin. Meeting is open to the public and City Hall is handicap accessible. City meetings can be watched live or recorded on the City of Berlin, the Berlin YouTube page. Roll call, please.
Monahan?
Here.
Hess?
Yeah.
Ross?
Here.
Milky?
Here.
Prince?
Here.
Kirkland?
No virtual attendees to seat. I've received no general public comments. We'll move on to number 4, which is the Police Department Awards, Life Saving and Certificate of Achievement.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to everybody for coming out tonight. As law enforcement officers, there's a few things throughout the course of your career that are either going to be very memorable for a number of reasons. And we want to take the opportunity to recognize some of our staff members that were involved in some of those incidents. And sometimes it could be a life-saving event, sometimes it could be something traumatic, and other times it might be a very prolonged investigation, and ultimately we hope for a successful outcome. With that, 2 of our staff members are here tonight for a life-saving award. They were working together. I'll read the one citation, but it applies to both of them. They were working together and ultimately working with the staff at the facility to help save a gentleman's life. So Cody and Dylan. In recognition of their actions on September 10th, 2025, to successfully preserve life by professional, decisive, and compassionate performance of duty, Patrolman Fox and Patrolman Saylor employed cooperation with Berlin Police Department staff, that being the 2 of them, Berlin Emergency Medical Service staff, and staff members working at the facility in which the patient resides. This cooperation was coupled with the utilization of an automated external defibrillator and cardiopulmonary resuscitation. I'm sorry, fellas. The pulse and breathing of the patient were restored, and the patient was delivered to the emergency room for additional treatment and evaluation. Their actions bring great credit upon themselves and Berlin Police Department, as well as the city of Berlin. Thank you, fellas. Thank you. Thanks, fellas. Go ahead, take some pictures of your family.
Get back up here.
Do you want us out
No.
of it? Chelsea, we can. Yeah, we can get out of it.
We're right in the middle of the fence here.
You guys don't have to move, they're not facing.
Not taking any chairs.
Oh, yeah, I would like one.
You bet.
If you want.
If you guys want some family photos, feel free, take your time.
Run through guys quick. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Anyone with family want to do it?
You guys want to do it together or separate?
I gotta go.
Do you want to take this photo? Do you want one of us to take it with the? Thank you. That's okay. Easy look over here. Wesley, you want to smile?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Do you want us with it or do you want it by yourself? Okay.
Yeah, stand on that.
One, two, three. Hold on. There's one more.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'll get one with you too.
Turn, come over here, I like the play with him. One, two, three.
Jay? Like I said, some incidents are more memorable than others and for various reasons. In this circumstance, this was an investigation that Jay was involved in really from the onset. What was the date that it kicked off?
February 19th, 2025.
February 19th, and it took until September 4th. This was an overdose death investigation that Jay was involved in. He did a ton of work, had a whole lot of contact back and forth between here and Milwaukee, ultimately where the dealer to the person that died from the overdose resided in Milwaukee. And it was a joint investigation really between us, because obviously we had the death investigation here in the city of Berlin. And then the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee HIDA, which is a drug, anti-drug organization that assists with investigations. But it was truly a learning experience for Jay. It was probably the most involved investigation he'd been in up to this point. And it probably is going to shape his future as far as investigations of that type are concerned. He's certainly going to be a resource for other guys that haven't been involved in circumstances like that. That even if he's not the one that's actually the head of the investigation, he'll certainly be able to provide some guidance to other people. So with that, given in recognition of superior performance of his duties while conducting an investigation into an overdose death throughout the year of 2025, Patrolman Zacharias utilized modern investigative techniques and worked collaboratively with numerous state and federal law enforcement agencies to identify a suspect in the death. This effort led to the arrest of the suspect in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on September 4th, 2025. In addition to providing justice for the victim's family in the city of Berlin, the investigation led to the seizure of multiple firearms and drugs from the residents in Milwaukee. Officer Zacharias' efforts and dedication reflect great credit upon himself and uphold the highest ideals of the Berlin Police Department and the law enforcement profession. Thank you.
Anybody else? Chief? I'm gonna switch you guys this way, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Only do one. Zoomed out. Good. Anyone else?
More about this one.
Yeah. One, two.
Thank you guys for coming. There's food downstairs. I'm not sure how much of it's left after these guys got a hold of it, but you're welcome to have something to eat if you like. Other than that, we're going to continue with our police and fire commission meeting, but without your guys' support, these guys wouldn't be able to come in and do what they do on a daily basis, so I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I don't know. Oh, there you go.
I'd like to see more of that. That is showing up and.
You didn't have any.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're pending.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good and bad thing, like you don't want to have to do it.
Well, and then like CPR, I mean, if you ask most of these guys what the record is, they're gonna be like 08. I mean, like, they probably a lot of
Yeah.
times, they get nowhere.
Yep.
Right, right. That's great.
All right, so we'll move on to number 5, approval of open minutes from November 5th, 2025. The recommendation is to approve the November 5th, 2025 open minutes of the Police and Fire Commission.
I'll make that motion. Second.
We have a motion by Kanoki, a second by Hess. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, fire department expenses. Recommendation approve the November 2025 fire department expenses as presented.
For our expenses, we have batteries for our self-contained breathing apparatuses. Each one takes 6 AA batteries. We have to replace them every year. So it's that time of the year. We had some necessities bought at Walmart, some paper towels for cleaning of stuff and file folders. We bought some soap for we were washing the floors at the fire station. In preparation for the open house that we had. And then the JAWS units yearly get inspected and gone through by the Queen. And they also do our SCBA air compressor. It's a yearly thing that happens every time about this time of year. So that was a big expense. Fuel, and then we had one term that we had to purchase. Firefighter who belonged to was dealing with a fire piece of farm equipment and got hydraulic fluid all over it, so we had to take it out of service.
Any questions? Need a motion to approve the expenses.
I'll make the motion that we approve the fire department expenses.
I'll second.
A motion by Hess, second by Krenz. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, fire department reporting and updates.
For fire calls, you have the list. Since that list was produced, we've had 9 more calls. We're running pretty hard week of Thanksgiving. Some of our bigger calls was, we had department fire on Main Street, which we were able to contain that fire to the affected apartment. The rest of the building did receive some smoke and water damage, but whatever you spray upstairs goes downstairs, so it causes a problem. We also done mutual aid Red Granite for a marsh fire on Highway 21, so it's about 350 acres.
439.
Oh, it's gone up, thanks to the DNR. So that was a few hours up there, and then we had a number of accidents, especially once we got the new snow during the Thanksgiving holiday, and we had a couple carbon monoxide calls. Other than that, a lot of issues. As far as maintenance issues go, we had no issues this month. This last month, when any maintenance issues that had to go out, so we were good there. And then activities for the last month and upcoming, in November, for our training, we did our annual driving course. We set up cones in the street, in the parking lot at Delmet Fire Station, and make everybody in the department go through the driving course, serpentine, forward, backwards, do a lot of backing, things like that. And then we did extrication with, we had a car and a farm tractor that were donated. The car was brought to us by Expert Towing, and the tractor was by Ed's Tractor Repair out on 91, which is good because we don't get a tractor to use too often, for extrication, and that can definitely be something. So, and then we participated in the Christmas parade, and then for December, we got Shop at the Hometown Hero this Saturday, and training-wise, last night we went through all the equipment on all the trucks, cleaned everything up, got everything labeled, put back where it belongs. Between a couple big fires we've had, things get misplaced, so we want to make sure they're back in order.
Thank you. Any questions? Moving on to number 8, police department expenses. Recommendation approve the November 2025 police department expenses as presented.
I'll start with the vouchers. The advanced police supply charge for the Postal Fest is one of our local fests every 5 years, those get replaced. Ultimately, half of that purchase cost is likely going to be returned to us by a grant from the federal government. You have 3 squad car oil changes at Proudy's. The Lenovo desktop computer actually is mine, replaced after 6 years. The Baycom charge for the batteries, and then the microphones are for our portable radios, which are now 5 years old. Some of the batteries are starting to fail, and some of the cords for the external microphones have been damaged just over the course of use. The Gordon Flush charge for the printer is our monthly copier fee. Moving on to the credit card payments, you can see a series of postage, which is pretty typical. Some of those are items being sent to the crime lab, and then the one large one for $245 is 3 rolls of stamps, and that's what stamps are up to these days. The Lend to Work charge is for our scheduling software, and that's an online scheduling software, so guys can check via computer or even their phone with the app and see who's working and when. The Verizon charges for the SIM cards that are in the squad cars for our computers. And then there's a series of uniform allowance purchases, mostly pants for uniforms and things like that. There's in the center of that, there's an Amazon charge for a USB computer speaker and webcam that's actually used when we're in court if we're trying to show some of the body cam video or squad video to the court when we're holding it municipally here. Otherwise, we would have commonly used the system behind those doors over there that is currently now. Moving down the bottom, there's a space or a gap there of 1 line, and then you see a searching charge for the Scott reagent tests. Those are controlled substance field tests. The Wisconsin Chiefs of Police Association membership renewal for 2026. Some batteries, most of those I think were for the defibrillators, is that correct stuff?
Yeah.
And then there were some of the smaller ones that I'm not even sure what those are going in, to be honest.
The little circle ones.
Yeah, it looks like a watch battery, and I don't remember if that's for like the red dot sights on some pistols, and then I know some of our other electronics are using those batteries as well. There's a postage charge on there, and then a couple more uniform purchases for both Officer Krause and Officer Johnson. Are there any questions on the bills?
Yeah, what's the watch?
The watch,
Is that part of his uniform?
he was using his uniform allowance for that, and I don't know if that's an appropriate
Mhm.
based on what he planned.
Yeah, I was just curious, I was like, a watch, what?
How much is the uniform allowance again?
$500.
Does that have to be used up at a certain point? Like, is it like the end of the year type thing where
If
they?
they don't use it, it gets paid out.
Okay, so they probably just use it enough.
Right.
Yeah. Is the online scheduling, is that like a yearly thing? That's not a,
That is an annual
okay,
subscription.
that's the first time I've seen it, so I just figured it in. Any other questions? Need a motion to approve the November 2025 Police Department expenses.
I make a motion to accept the, what is it? Somebody else.
November 2025.
November 2025 for police department minutes, I don't know.
Expenses.
Thank you, expenses.
We have a motion by Monahan, second by Hess. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to number 9, Police Department reporting and updates.
Everybody's got a copy of the activity extract. You can see that traffic contacts returned to more of an average number. Of the 7 property damage crashes, 3 of them were parking lot related, and commonly that's at gas stations or retail establishments. I think one of them actually this month was at the school. Theft reports, again, were very average for us, with only one of those being retail theft, which is actually somewhat unusual. It seems we commonly run probably closer to 30% being retail theft. And then this month, there was 1 emergency detention and no detention diversions. But check welfare requests again returned to a pretty average number, pretty typical number for us. Are there any questions on that extra? As far as past month and upcoming month's activities, we continue to refine the body cam pilot program and server, as well as the processing of digital files. So far, that's actually going pretty well. This is Chief Nesker has done a pretty good job of making sure everything's dialed in with the camera manufacturer, and now it's really a matter of, I guess, refining the flow, like with the district attorney's office when we're sending evidence down to them for a case. The combined tactical unit members, including 3 of our staff, conducted training at Beta Care Berlin, which also helped Beta Care with their internal emergency planning. So they had one of their regular monthly trainings at the hospital and treated it almost as an active threat scenario, which is a benefit to Beta Care so that they can then take the lessons learned at our hospital and extrapolate that over to MENA, for example, and some of their other locations. Annual training on response to active shooters taking place next week. It's going to be held at the Green Lake High School this year and includes all law enforcement from Green Lake County. One of our staff members completed a 40-hour training by the DOJ on internet crimes against children investigations. One staff member completed a 24-hour course for the Detective Academy. And then the annual holiday parade went well on November 20th. It was attended really well. And then this Saturday, December 6th, will be the 25th annual Shop with Hometown Hero event at Walmart Garden Center, with about 100 children being anticipated for that. Any questions?
So do we have any questions? Thanks, Chief. Moving on to number 10, old business, to be used to request items of old business to be put on future agenda for further discussion or action, or used to make a motion for reconsideration of an item from the current meeting or immediately previous meeting, or to take a motion, or to make a motion to take items off the table which were laid on the table only during the current meeting. Anybody have old business? New business, to be used to request items of new business to be put on future agendas. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned at 6:51. Yeah. That was easy.
This could have been,
This could have been like a 14-minute meeting.
way to go.
I get it, that's, thank you for